A couple of days ago on one of my videos, somebody asked me a question that I'd honestly not thought about before. The question was, am I thinking of playing the Legion expansion for World of Warcraft when it's released? Up until that point, I hadn't actually looked at Legion much. I hadn't watched any of the cinematic trailers or teasers, any of the cutscenes, or even read about the lore. Recently, I watched some of Nobble's videos and Preacher's videos regarding the expansion and found myself getting hyped once again like I always seem to do with every WoW expansion. With the exception of Mists of Pandaria, of course. I liked what it said about artifact weapons. I really liked the look of the zones and some of the enemies we'd be facing. The lore seemed pretty tight and interesting. The new hero class was one I could definitely get behind, and all in all, it seemed like a really exciting idea for an expansion, and I found myself more hyped and interested in the upcoming future of the game than I had been for several years. So you might be thinking, what's the purpose of this video then? Is it to talk about the lore that we know about? Is it to talk about the new mechanics of the game, the new honor system, the artifact weapons, what the dungeons and raids are going to be? Well, actually, it's not. Because you see, after I got all of this hype and enjoyment from what I've been reading and watching, I suddenly got a massive cockblock from Blizzard because of this little piece of information. So apparently MMO Champion has managed to get their hands on a poster, an image, which is almost like the pre-purchase kind of poster for the new expansion. And on this, it supposedly says to be released on or before September the 21st, 2016. Now, I understand just as well as the next man that this does mean a few things, and it could be just, protecting the expectations of the market, of the player base. But I'm going to talk about this from the perspective of somebody who just knows what they've read, who just knows that release date, and going on my knowledge of the last expansions of WoW. My first gut reaction was honestly, holy fuck, Blizzard. What a way to fucking commit suicide. Seriously. I'm one of those people who genuinely believes that World of Warcraft will never die unless its players decide that they really genuinely don't want anything to do with it again. But do we really want another repeat of what happened with Siege of Orgrimmar? Where people were stuck playing the same raid, doing the same high-end PvE content for like 10 months before the new expansion came out? That stuff really does kill a game. MMO players need new content all the time. They need fresh stuff to do. There will be raiders who will complete that raid instantly. Hellfire Citadel has already been completed long ago on Mythic. You're expecting me to play that for up to another 10 months? And yes, I understand that with Warlords of Draenor, it was actually released a month or two before when it was penned to be released for Christmas. But even if that's the case with Legion, that means we're still going to be waiting like 9 months for a new expansion, when currently we're stuck with a raid that's already been completed long ago in an expansion which, to be honest, got staler as time went on. Now, I've heard that there may be another patch to be released yet in Warlords of Draenor, and I hope that's the case, but it feels like they've already rounded off the storyline. I definitely don't expect another raid, and that's really what I'm talking about here. It's fair enough adding little content patches, stuff like the fucking Time Walk Isle that they had last time, but seriously, a new raid is what people need. I mean, here I was considering resubscribing when only a week ago I'd been telling my fucking viewers that I was never going to play Legion, or that I was only going to try it out for the sake of making videos. Once I looked at the hype for it, once I'd seen the cinematics, once I'd seen the stuff that they're doing with the new artifact weapon system, with the new honor system, once I'd had a look at the zones, which all seemed fantastic and in a way seemed to be a great combination of Wrath of the Lich King almost and the Burning Crusade, two expansions which I think dominate and really do symbolize the game. I thought, yeah, here we go. I'm going to resubscribe. I'm really looking forward to this release. When's it going to be? Is it going to be Christmas? Is it going to be the new year? Because from what I've seen, it looks like everything's ready to go. No. Cock blocked. At earliest, it's going to be summer next year. At the earliest, realistically speaking. If they say September, in my opinion, that means that at the earliest, it'll be a couple of months before that. And that's just not on. Not when you release this much footage. Not when you tell us so much stuff about what's going to happen in the next expansion. That stuff looks almost perfect at the moment. It looks polished to fuck. And what do we have to wait for now? Hellfire Citadel for another 6 months at the least? Maybe 10 months? Ridiculous. Not happening. And I understand most people are going to be saying, yeah, well, they're just doing it for safety reasons. They don't want to hype people up with expectation and then not deliver because it won't be released as early as people want it to be. I understand that, but we can only talk about what we've been given, and this is the information that we've currently got. Blizzard haven't rescinded this, they haven't retracted it, they haven't changed it to say, no, you can expect a spring release or anything like that. Currently, all we know is it might be released at the latest 21st of September 2016. And whilst I applaud this as a responsible move, if that's what it is by Blizzard, to kind of make sure that people don't get expectations for an earlier release than is possible, all you have to do is look at the forums to see what the reaction is to this. People constantly saying, here we go, another 10 months of Hellfire Citadel. Here we go, is this for real? Yes, I expect it to be September. People are really disappointed by this. And you might say, well, you know what, they can suck it up. If they want to play the game, they can wait until it's fully done. Of course, I understand that, and that's correct. But really, you're repeating the mistakes that you made in Siege of Orgrimmar. And that was one of the cardinal sins of the game, in my opinion. Leaving a piece of content, especially one that has been completed already, for another 6 to 10 months, is suicide, in my opinion. It is a really bad move. And I hope that it is just a precautionary measure and that the release date will be earlier than it is. Because if it isn't, then all of this hype that I'm currently feeling, alongside everybody else who plays WoW for this new expansion, it's probably going to drop off. Thanks for listening, guys. My name has been Mittens. I hope to see you in the next episode of whatever I make. Bye-bye.